Welcome to Savage Universe. I'm JM, and I have a very exciting show for you guys tonight. I'm here with Malcolm and Nathan of a new Savage Worlds actual play podcast or show that will be starting in September, right?
October, maybe.
October. We're here to give you the behind the scenes. I was talking with Malcolm, and Malcolm, I apologize. I was really listening to the story. I was about to ask questions and realized we were going on 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all good. It's all good.
Gentlemen, thank you for showing up and hanging out.
Thank you for having us.
Great, thanks. Glad to be here.
So we'll show the trailer off, but normally I like to give people some context for who we're talking to. Nathan, I believe I met you at Gen Con at the PEG panel.
Yep.
Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us how you got into role playing games in Savage Worlds and how you met up, how you met each other.
Okay.
Ooh. You want to go first, Malcolm? Or you want me to go first?
You go first. I tell you, go on. You know how it is.
All right, so I'm Nathan. I'm one of the hosts of the Advanced Age Role Playing Gamers podcast, or AARPGs. I started with D&D in the 80s. A new kid moved to the area, started in middle school, and I was a nerd, so it was an easy sell for me. I was already reading fantasy books. D&D was never the only game I played. We hopped around from system to system very, very early on. Did some Palladium, did Champions because of the whole Satanic Panic thing, and my neighbor was not allowed to play D&D. And then I met Malcolm in community college in 1988.
Awesome.
So, now we have a podcast. So. Your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty similar. Moved to a new area, started playing D&D with the local kids. My mom was one of those people who did believe in the Satanic Panic, so I didn't play D&D at my house. I did a lot of Traveler, and then later picked up Star Frontiers, and then started branching out into other games like Gamma World and Boot Hill. But anyway,
that's a rough branch.
Yeah, we that didn't last very long at all. We're like, no, it's just not going to happen for us. I met Nathan in community college, but it was several years later, a good time later, before because it was deluxe edition when I got involved with Savage Worlds, and I was forever looking for a system to run a mech game in. And I had done Palladium. I had switched to GURPS. I tried, I think it was Mechton or some of that for a little bit. And then stumbled into Savage Worlds and their space book and their walkers. And I thought, I'll give it a try at a geek weekend of all things one time. And it went so smoothly, so fast, so furious, so fun. It was this is what I was looking for in a mech game. We can literally have a battle with all these mechs and have all these hours of role play too. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with that for that nature. And then it was maybe a year later we did another, because it was because in my home games I was doing a lot of GURPS. I was the crunchiness of it. I did a lot of GURPS. Anyway, but when I was doing games for a lot of people, a large group, I said, I need them all to be involved. I need them all to have fun. I need them all to have something to do. Savage Worlds worked perfectly. So the next Geek Weekend, I tried something I hadn't done in a while because I'd gone through my bounce to a number of systems for supers. And there are a lot of great systems out there that have their own little appeal that I love. But I thought, I'll do Savage Worlds, supers. Mm-hmm. And it was great. I had 16 people.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to run two super teams that eventually met in the end of the weekend in this big, huge battle against the big bad and all that. And it was able to pull it off.
Yeah.
And awesome. People enjoyed it for the most part, So I was very pleased with it. And then it was just I don't know what happened. It was kind of I just sort of oh, that was nice. And then foolishly put it down. And then slowly started just buying little supplements here, buying this there and that there, but I didn't quite, run it yet. And then when I moved away, I was living in the Maryland, D.C. area, in D.C. at the time, and I moved away to Knoxville, and I moved down here, and it was D&D crazy. You know? It was just, but at the time, D&D was just becoming very, the fifth edition was really sort of taking off, exploding everywhere, and I was like, well, I better learn this system, because I had sort of dropped D&D back in like 3. Because I was like, I am not buying all this stuff again. I mean, I bought everything for second edition.
I've got my second edition shelf right over there.
I mean, just, you have supplement books. I mean, just ridiculous amounts. If they could make a book, they made it. And you had it. And I was just like, I'm not doing that again. So I just sort of backed off of, D&D. And then when, people came, came here, people were playing D&D. I started doing D. So the local group, the first group I ran them through was D&D. And, it was half new players, half seasoned players, and it was very interesting. And then we decided, we'll take a break. We're going to do a space game. And I thought, Savage Roll would be easy. And they fell in love with it, and so did I. And then it was like, well, what else can we do in Savage Rolls? Oh, we can do this. And what else can we do in Savage Rolls? And then I was like, I know GURPS is very versatile, but Savage Rolls is versatile and fun. So...
Well, and that's so like I come from a GURPS background, and
it's the crunchiness that I love, but the players aren't quite so crazy sometimes about that.
Well, and the fact that I think the real, like ignoring like crunchiness aside, for a universal system, the setting rules of Savage Worlds are really what makes it stand apart from GURPS, because you can run multiple GURPS games, and it's true the rules run the same. But they also feel the same. Like you might have more powers. You might have more points.
They can feel the same, or you're adding a lot more complexity to get a different feel.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, holy moly.
Yeah, but with
before, in one game in GURPS, you're like, oh, I just use my karate skill, I do this. And then here's a whole entire martial arts books. You're learning every single thing. Yeah. And that becomes a big, huge pile of complexity on top of it. Well, Savage World does a great job of having a base system, and then you add certain things to it, and you still feel very connected and familiar with the system itself. Yeah. Like my players locally have been fearless about, we're going to do this in Savage Worlds. There wasn't any trepidation, about trying a whole new world. Which is like, what are the setting rules, and we'll go. And they were good.
That's
and
awesome.
It works, and so that's why I really like Savage Worlds for that. As a matter of fact, I'm working on like 2 other campaigns that I'm building for them that I'm thinking about. One I'm definitely going to move to. The other one it still needs a lot more work, but it's because it's such a good system for building out these things and doing it for. And because I had such amazing time with supers in Deluxe Edition, this new companion, Adventure Edition, I really love it. And I decided like I could do this, guys. I could run a game in this. I could run a supers game. And I haven't run it. And these guys, I had run supers games with them back in the day. We were doing systems. I did a lot of different. So it was like Marvel with the what was it called? The phase shift Marvel. Phase shift Marvel. I did Palladium. I can't remember what else. We did Champions, of course.
Yeah. Did you do GURPS too?
We did GURPS. Yeah, we did GURPS as well.
So this is the same world that Malcolm's been.
So all these different worlds are now being combined, and sort of like now the same sort of flowing timeline that all their characters from the past are a part of the background or a part of the past of this world. So it was kind of like I want to bring this sort of like legacy super game all the way through. I mean these new superheroes in a world where. To the players, it's familiar. The heroes themselves may not know everything. The players can see the background of certain things.
So why make the jump from playing it at the table with a group of friends to streaming it as an actual play?
So this is really we've all been playing together for decades. And we started this during the pandemic, and we've played lots of other different systems on here already, but it's really become kind of our Tuesday nights have become kind of sacred, because especially as you get older, you have lots of other things calling on your time between work and family and illness and everything else. So Tuesday nights have been kind of our sacred spot to kind of play together. but also give us the opportunity to share what keeps us going with strangers. So it's been really, really nice. There's an extra little thing for me. I went to school for audio a billion years ago, and had to kind of set that aside for a long time. And so this is a nice chance for me to kind of stretch those muscles again and get to play around and get creative with sound. So it's it's a nice outlet for me. But it's been strangely fun to actually have people follow us, comment, and get to know our characters and get to know how we relate to each other. That's been kind of something I wasn't really sure. Who's going to watch old people? And actually, I'm going to take one. I was going to stop, but I'm going to take one extra little step here. We do video. We record and edit the video and put it up on YouTube. But we also, I edit it. I do all the editing. I edit it for the audio because when we started this, okay, we're going to put this up on YouTube, but we're not going to really pay any attention to it because we just want people to listen to the podcast.
Okay.
The YouTube, strangely enough, has been
Yeah.
A lot more popular
Than we
than
anticipated.
I would have ever dreamed because we're all like in our 50s and like who wants to
Let's look at us guys.
so we all have our inside jokes, but yeah, the YouTube streaming portion has actually been pretty good for us. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, and one of the things that's kind of funny is like basically it is also that we are not close geographically as we used to be. Definitely for some of us like me. But also, just like, it's easier to get people we found to sit down in front of the computer as far as get them at a table. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
These guys were the worst. I mean, literally the worst.
It's hard enough to get people to show
I've
up on
had a lot of
time
groups.
online.
They're the worst. And we've had greater success online than we've had in person at times. In the last
Really?
couple of years. With these guys.
Okay.
With them. Yeah, not with my other groups, no. Them specifically. I remember when we lived all close by, and I was like organizing a group that was like, we're going to do this one thing once a month on the same day of the month, the same hours of the month, plan ahead. God, it was disastrous.
No, yeah, because
It still
again, the
worked out.
family, kids, all that stuff.
Yeah.
The kids ruin everything. So it's
I mean, mine's sitting right over there.
someday you will love them again. But when they're little, they ruin everything.
Hanging out, yeah, just relaxing and doing homework. He's waving high. He's now. I'm now running a Savage Rifts game for him and actually some people in Tink's group, and they're all I think between like 12 and 18, and it is
That is probably the best age bracket for riffs.
Savage, especially Savage Rifts.
And Savage. Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, you know what? We played it in Palladium. I tried to. I could not do it. I mean, it was just like, I can't do this. I just can't. I can't do this.
You should try Savage Rifts. I'm
Yeah,
just
And
saying.
then I saw Savage. We tried Savage Riffs, and I'm like, this is how it was supposed to be. This is what you meant.
Yeah, Matt, our co-host, loves Riffs, and he did a Riffs campaign. We actually, when Savage Riffs was going to Kickstarter, we interviewed Sean Matthews on our channel. He was one of the first people we ever interviewed. So that's out there if you want to see that. But yeah,
awesome.
Riffs was something that he did. Matt ran a 3 Galaxies game for in Palladium and then later in Riffs. Again, spanning over decades. So
Yeah, decades.
So I think the three Galaxies is actually coming over to Savage, right?
It is. That's
Yeah,
gonna be,
yeah.
that's through Star Anvil Studios.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Phase
I'm a-
World and all that.
I'm a
that's-
huge fan of Phase World.
So that was one of those games that I thought, there's oftentimes when you take a game and move it to another system, there's it's somewhat diminished by that system by changing over.
Yeah, it's hard.
Rifts is not one of those games that did that. Rifts became a lot more accessible, I think, to certain people as far as like seeing a sense of balance and as well as being able to sort of like knowing. I'll be honest. I mean, like the one thing I had a problem with Palladium was like though it had all these different, like fantasy and superheroes and super spies, they nothing balanced. And then Rifts was the most unbalanced thing. But that's not that was not their concern.
That was not their concern. No.
It was like,
No,
so
not
it's
at
like,
all.
so when it's not your concern, it's not a worry if you're the creator and that's not what you're looking. I don't care if it's concern, but for me, it was like, I like the balance that way. If things translated, you felt as if, I was in the same power level in the same group. I mean, like that was one of the first things in Rifts that happened to me. It was like, I'm a line walker. And I'm like, I'm completely SDC. And here's
Then
this
there's, like,
glitter boy. And I'm
Cosmonaut,
like,
yeah.
and I
The
said,
Cosmonaut and the Dragon.
yeah. So I was like, what am I doing here?
I'm a peasant.
Yeah, they sneeze and I'm dead, but I'm the only. But they have me around to give them around the place real quick because I can walk late. It was just like ridiculous, but I did like but when transferring over to another thing is transferring over to Savage Worlds is I always liked the Savage World sort of combat system, so it's always been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fast. Like, it's tactical. Like, I like that it remains tactical while still being very fast and very accessible.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I have there's a couple of kids in the games who every week they're like, "Wait, what do I roll?" And then as soon as we go over that right at the beginning, they're like, "Oh,
They're
yeah,
set.
no, now I know what's going on." Like,
Yeah.
2 dice looking for 4s. All right, well, I'm going to run the trailer that you guys sent me.
It's a minute and a half, so you guys are going to have to, you might want to cut it off at some point, but
Yeah, feel free to cut it off. At any
I mean,
point.
I'll go get a soda.
There you
and
go.
Listen, one of my favorite movies is Star Trek: The Motion Picture. You can go do a lot of things during that initial flyby of the Enterprise.
Oh, yeah, you
The
can.
whole 4-course meal. It's perfect. All right, so here we go. Let's listen to the trailer. I'm going to pause it and do my intro. I didn't realize that stream was going to play it immediately. So this is Infamous Heroes. After this, we're going to have you guys kind of tell us a little bit about the campaign setting, characters, and just jump in from there.
Okay.
A heavy fog rolls in through the city's east side, thick and pale. Streetlights flicker between a yellow glow and a deepening red shadow. It's faint at first. The distant calliope tune of Carnival, carried on the gathering mist. But the melody seems off. It's bright, jaunty, yet warped, as if played backwards, or perhaps even underwater. It comes across eerie and distorted. Where an empty lot stood yesterday, now rises a carnival of red and gold tints under a string of bright lights that glow reddish. No trucks, no setup crews, no permits. The carnival just appeared overnight. A cracked sign sways under the illuminated gate. Painted letters shimmer like heat mirages, rearranging themselves should one just look away. But it currently reads, The Carnival of Destiny.
All right, that was awesome. First of all, I am a sucker for using carnivals in any genre as the hook for basically pulling players in. And they usually, my players now have trauma and they don't like going to carnivals. So tell us what the premise of the game is. Malcolm, you're the GM.
Yes. The premise of the game. Seeing how it's built on previous games, but I'm just going to sort of just jump in. This is a time when, because when I originally conceived this game, it was during the pandemic. So we're dealing with a time where a sort of they're not sure, but I think it's some sort of alien virus has hit the planet, which has, devastated the population to a certain degree, but not completely, and reduced the number, like actually particularly affecting those with the sort of superhero power, sort of meta gene or something, and reducing the number of heroes there are. So people are called together to become the new superhero teams to set up in this time. And that's what the heroes of Monument City, the Justice Patrol, are. A team of people that have been brought together to uphold, hopefully, justice and good. And they are an eclectic group, which is how you end up, and it's always good to have that. But they're in the course of their adventures, they begin to realize that there is behind what has happened originally. This this sort of, it seemed like a random, not so random, but something that happened, but who is behind it possibly, why certain events are coming together, and they are slowly trying to figure out and maneuver through as they continue to bond as a team. Because they're all fairly new to one another, have never either worked together until they've been sort of recruited to join the Justice Patrol.
Now, what power level are you playing at?
We're doing the 4-color. It's going to be a 4-color campaign.
Okay.
A lot of 4-color rules. I thought, we'll go with the, the very standardized comic book thing. I mean, I know a lot of things that's sort of harking to my own sort of, own sort of childhood and love for that level of that sort of nature of comic book, the 4 colors. Also, there's plenty of other systems, and I know that a lot of genres like like The Boys and Invincible are very popular, but they tend to lead to be very sort of like ultraviolet and so on, which is appealing to some people, and they have a lot of fun with it. And I myself didn't necessarily did enjoy the series, but I couldn't see myself running that, not with any full heart. So I didn't. So I wanted to go with something very classic and very approachable.
Okay.
And sort of like, people could have a lot more fun, tongue in cheek with the sort of tropes of, the 4-color campaigns. That they
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I'm a DC guy, so 4-color just really, really always appeals to me. Yeah. So that's great. Nathan, who are you going to be playing in this? And then I guess my other follow-up question is this going to be live, or are you going to record it and then post it? What's kind of the plan there?
Yeah, well, I'll sort of answer that first. We've recorded most of it already. We've been
awesome.
playing it for a while now. It's just because this Malcolm's University has been playing with for a while, and it's a world that we played in several times. We want to do it a little bit more justice, as I kind of alluded to earlier. Like a video was kind of an afterthought before.
Yeah.
So I've been playing around and trying to learn some video editing, and so I'm kind of trying to take that into the presentation of it, because really I've only I studied audio, but the video stuff is like works completely opposite of everything I learned about audio. So
and then depending on the programs that you're using,
Yeah.
Everything you learn in one has
Nothing
exactly
to do.
zero correlation with the other.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna do a lot of the sound stuff in my favorite workstation called Reaper, but I'm gonna do the video stuff with DaVinci Resolve Studio. So I'm getting there. So that's kind of the delay on not releasing anything. I want to wait until
It's
that
okay.
stuff.
There's no reason to rush.
Yeah,
we still have some more to record, so we're okay.
There's more to record, and we're trying to do like little kind of between scenes too, where we're still role playing, but we're not actually like in a combat. It's just like slice of life stuff that we can kind of throw in there, so to make it more like a TV show, hopefully. But anyway, so I'm going to be playing Orion the Hunter, and basically is a giant who showed up on the planet, and basically he thinks he's the god, the demigod Orion,
from Greek mythology.
Yeah, from Greek mythology. That's really not what the case is. I'm not going to reveal too much, but he's not the sharpest stick in the
not tool in the shed.
So but he's large, he's jovial, he can create like this energy bow and a club made out of energy. So all the Orion the Hunter tropes. and he's a giant. He's pretty strong, but he's not the strongest person. But he's really like a ranged blaster type character. And sometimes he kind of gets really a little bit too lucky with his rolls, and things start multiplying and exploding, and then whatever I hit ends exploding. It's like, oh, that guy got away.
It's fun. We work it out.
We work it out.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel that pain.
Yeah, you have to. You know, the good thing is it's like a 4-color campaign, so
Yeah.
it's sort of like, you're just being knocked really, really far out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the parents who adopted me or found me own a Greek restaurant, so we just kind of lean into not taking ourselves too seriously. I'm really good at it.
I've got to say, I love the pun of the channel name.
Yeah.
That is spectacular and just
And telling.
zero notes. Zero notes.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, I will apply to join your channel as a
Member, yeah.
as a
you'll be
member.
welcome.
I would love that. That's amazing.
I actually talked to Matt, one of our other hosts, about those ribbons that you get at cons.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about making some of those for PAX Unplugged just to hand out to people.
Just AA RPG.
Yeah, AARPG member, with a
That-
little logo. So
That's a ribbon that I would proudly attach to my badge.
yeah.
So what other characters are in the party?
Well, shall I?
Yeah. What you go for it?
So in our alignment, our lineup, we do have like our brick, which is kind of a local hero, Steel Warden, who's kind of like our basically the sort of the most sort of like public face and sort of the backbone of the group as far as just being in the back and sort of holding it every sort of keeping everybody on the hero path. It's kind of his thing, which is not that particularly difficult, but he does, that's what he does. But he's a sort of basically a super strong, a body of, organic steel or organic metal or whatever it was. He has some other powers, but yeah. And he's sort of like I almost want to say, I can't say he's sort of like, just sort of like the good guy, just a good, nice guy. Next would be Johnny Law, who is this grizzled, basically long-lived hero. He is a man who has seen and lived through many tragedies, but is steadfastly dedicated to the idea of justice. Though his name is Johnny Law, it's not particularly following a given law of an area or region, but justice for those who need it, and justice for those who will have no one else stand before them. So he's kind of a little, but he's been living so long. He has old habits and everything else. So it's like he's sort of like the grizzled veteran of this group, and he's kind of, he's still kind of, a bit tied and a bit, to his old ways and a bit of a Luddite, but it works out, Then next would be the polar opposite, which would be Glitch, who is a technological being, created for one purpose by a sort of computer and billionaire think tank, and then becoming an entity unto herself, itself, I guess, that sort of explores what it is to be alive, to be sentient, and where they fit in this humanly dominated world, but also, has, this incredible power of connection with all forms of media and connection and data that in the world, that sort of is how she sees and views things and how she learns over time. And it's curious to see, like how this character evolves and expands over the course of this game as they begin to understand the nature of what humans can do and the difference between her and them, and can she succeed them.
Yeah.
Next, it would be our ground-based sort of, local neighborhood sort of vigilante, who's sort of been sort of pulled in the superhero group as a part of his sort of probation, known as Bastion. He is definitely your ground level Street Fighter with an incredible amount of the ability to absorb, damage and so forth, as well as adapt. He does not know the nature of his background.
Okay.
He does not have any recollection of his early childhood except for sort of flashes, and he was adopted by a family who found him in the dumpster, sort of like abandoned on the streets. And so he has a lot to discover about himself, but yet has a strong connection with his community and the city. And these are all based, I'll get to that again, and so that's Bastion. Next would be, why am I having a brain freeze on the next character? Can you help me, please? What is it?
Chris's
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom is the typical scientist caught in blast becomes superhero because they want to figure out why they got caught in a blast and why this experiment went wrong and have these powers now. She's really, I would say, not the reluctant hero, but it's kind of like secondary to her figuring out what's going on. And she's a tendency to be distracted by her own research. Luckily, she has her intern there to help get things moving along. But so
I still
all works
maintain that I want to make a board game where the resource you're all going for tenure and your resources that you're using are grad students.
Oh my God!
Like I got to apply 6 grad students over here and a couple of interns here, and then I can get my project complete.
Yeah.
That actually would be an awesome game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and that makes the core of the team. We do have some other sort of superhero guest stars or people who are in there part time that we have, but we won't get into them until we actually finish out their episodes and so forth. Because we have a few that are sort of on the sides that come. So that's the core team, and then we have other team members that are the guest starring from other teams or so forth. I think will happen.
So you can tell we have a lot of people, and in the past we've kind of again this is our Tuesday night game, and we twist and turn and chop until it's a consumable piece of media, but we decided to be a little bit more, I guess, cognizant of how people kind of consume these things, and trying to only have 4 or 5 heroes on per episode, except for some of these big moments where everybody shows up. But trying to just so way we've done the actual kind of adventure parts is break it into teams. So. You 4 are going to go through this adventure arc, and then a different 4 or 5 is going to do this other adventure arc, and so that way it's we all still get to play, but it's probably a little bit easier for folks to consume rather than having 6 or 7 or 8 voices.
Yeah, we're hoping for a lot easier to consume, as well as be able to sort of people to better be easily to attach to characters when they get to have some more time with them. Now, like I said, as I said before, Savage World can handle the numbers. It's just a matter of we just don't want to. We don't want to do that with this podcast, with this program. We're going to try and just sort of give us more breathing room, and then bring everybody in for certain adventures, which make them more exciting because of that. But give people a chance to know or get to sort of see each hero in their sort of limelight or action, which sort of works out well for us. It's kind of like how I was thinking about how many superhero teams will actually be broken up, even though the whole team is there, and it's so you're dealing with one part of it, and then you switch over to the other one, and then they come together, and it seems to have that. I still want it sort of that same sort of format to be usable.
Yeah. Well, I put the link to your YouTube channel down there. You're looking at launching sometime in October. I'm going to have you guys back on the show the week after it launches, if that's all right. I would love. And yes, Tink, sure. Nathan was trapped in, and James, you were there in that panel as well. You met them at essentially the same time. For those of you who don't know, the Savage Worlds panel at Gen Con was notable for a tornado warning and us being stuck in the room. And literally every time Daryl would ramp up to some big announcement, either the phones emergency alarms went off. The second round of alarms went off. The hotel was making announcements. It was hysterical because again, he would ramp up and then be like, "All right, well, here's the new thing that we're doing," because he just got interrupted
Oh
and
my
lost all of his momentum.
That's too bad. Oh man.
I do want to give a quick shout out to our friends at the 23rd Century, the Battle Lords.
Yeah.
From the Battle Lords guys. Chris, one of our players, basically has played every version of Battle Lords. So we actually did, before the Savage edition came out, we played the old school Battle Lords on our channel. And what an amazing setting that is.
An amazing setting
yeah,
for the
it
most
is-
chaotic group. It was
It
good.
was perfect for us.
It was,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So I would, if you are looking for some a sci-fi setting, I would highly recommend the Battle Lords.
It is.
I'm
a
actually going
very,
to have them on the show here soon.
Yeah,
Oh, good,
it's a
good.
very fun. I mean, it's like I enjoyed the original the system we were playing it, and then they moved to Savage Worlds, and I like that too. I'm trying to get my players on board with trying to figure out if I'm going to run that for them or not, for my local team or not. But yeah, it's going to be just that much more fun.
Yeah. So I hope we go back
I
to
was like,
it.
Tink just asked.
Yeah. I hope we get back to it because Chris did an amazing job. I love my character. I played like a giant battle kitty with a goo cannon. It was. I'm not going to go
That's
into
awesome.
any more details
was-
than that, but it was a lot of fun.
So how long are your episodes? I know you're in the editing mode of this. What are you thinking episode length wise?
We're targeting an hour, and if we record for 2 hours, we're going to try and break it down to 2 50-minute chunks.
That's a great.
Yeah,
That's the
chunk
goal.
of-
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's our goal. And our previous ones we've gone longer, and we thought that the smaller, more digestible chunks would be easier for the consumers to sort of get a hold of, and so you can watch it.
Oh yeah, when I used to do I used to stream for Ulysses. I did like Torg Eternity and Fading Suns, and we
Okay.
started with like 3.5 to
Oh,
4
yeah.
hour sessions.
Nobody got time for that.
And yeah, and basically we ended up going 90 minutes to maybe sometimes 2 hours, and we found that like people can engage. That's a movie, right? That's a movie night as opposed to
Yeah.
let's watch Return of the King extended edition.
Yeah, most of our recent stuff is really. We typically go like hour and a half for the previous stuff we've done. I do edit a lot of just
Thank God.
blah 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 blah, blah. I'm not
Thank
gonna
you,
point any
Nathan.
fingers or call out any particular names. They know who they are.
But we know who you are.
Yeah. Some people just suck the air out of the room,
No.
but because we like to keep, we're playing like new systems. We like to kind of keep some of the rules stuff in there, so people get the feeling of how it would play at their own table. Because like you don't with like D&D, everybody knows how to play that. But if you haven't done Savage Worlds before or some of these other systems, you might want to know like what are exploding? What's exploding dice? Or what do you mean the arrays? What does that mean? So we do like to kind of go into some of that stuff during the show, at least
but-
once.
but one thing I
Not
can say-
every episode, but
Yeah, one thing I'd say is funny about that is like we were, initially the first several episodes, there is a lot of sort of like just sort of informing the players and the viewers what the system can do.
Yeah.
But after a while, I saw what happened where the players got so comfortable with the system, they was just like, they're not going to stop and explain this. They're going to just go.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like I said, like you said before, it's a very, once you pick out the basic rule and you think, oh yeah, that's how it goes. I just need that. We're good to go. That becomes very easy for even those viewing it to sort of go and play it. So we're really hoping that will connect with them. But I'm just really hoping they enjoy the story and they enjoy the because being goofballs that we are, gosh.
Man, I'm going to be honest. That's why I think I speak for James over at Nights at the Smith Dinner Table. I know that was the way it was for me when I was doing, actual plays. My first work that I did with Pinnacle was actually running the horror at Headstone Hill, and I basically used that to get my gaming group that I haven't, like people that I never got to game with, and said, hey, it's just a short 8-week thing. Can you commit to 8 weeks? And so I got like friends that I haven't been able to play with for years to show up and do this. And there is something even more, like you guys said, there's a weight to signing a weight, if you will, to signing up for like an actual play, because people are like, all right, now I really got to make time in my schedule because this is going to go out somewhere, and I don't want to be the person kind of holding that back.
Yeah, so
It's
JM
been 5 years now that we've.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I'll just say like, I was like, JM, 5 years ago, he said, let's just join this game. I know we haven't played in a while. Let's get together. 5 years later, here we are.
That's right.
So just saying, just be ready. And it's been great. I do love it. And yeah, it does sort of become, I think is what I like about it. Like it's a very secure way of setting a schedule. Like you guys are gonna show up at this table and be here. It helps.
Yeah, we don't always prepare enough, but but everybody does show up mostly on time.
I feel like,
great.
Malcolm, I don't know if you're like me, but like if they prepare, that's just gravy. If you show up, that is where I'm at.
If they prepare, it's just gravy. Yeah. It's just like your character that you made, its name. Okay, yeah, all right, got it.
So, well, guys, thank you so much. And like when we come back together, when it goes live, if anybody else in the cast wants to show up, or if we want to do like when you're done with this, the first story, the AP, if you want to do like a wrap party here on Savage Universe, I would love to have you guys back on and talk about all of this.
Okay,
that sounds fun. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Any final thoughts that you guys want to share about your this upcoming Infamous Heroes actual play?
What do I want to share?
It's I'll start. It's this is really, it's kind of a love letter to our gaming relationship. We're spending just a lot more time on this and trying to craft it for an audience, but it's really mostly for ourselves. We hired somebody to write music for it. That music you heard during the thing. I did the Calliope part, but the actual superhero music was we commissioned. Malcolm's doing art for it.
I saw that. Yeah.
We've been hounding Malcolm for years because Malcolm used to draw all our characters back in college, but he maybe got a little rusty. But it's so nice to see him actually pick up the pencil and start drawing again. So
yeah, we had somebody comment that the concept art is awesome. Yeah.
That's
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I would agree. It's kind of like sort of like what I'm hoping is that yes, it's a love letter to our sort of our history as a gaming group together, and we're going to do this. It keeps a lot of stuff in the past and enjoying really just playing the game. A lot of times we've done a lot of like one shots, but and we've done some long campaigns. But I think this one we're really thinking about like really doing something for ourselves and special. But I'm hoping, and I'm almost certain it probably will become the template of what we'll do in the future, which I'm really happy about too, and really excited about to see that. So I hope that everyone's does enjoy it. Do be kind in the first couple episodes, and you'll get better. I always say that for every show.
Yeah, they always do though, right?
You
gotta find
that's true. But yeah, and the thing is, I'm really happy to be able to present Savage Worlds to these guys in this newest edition, Adventure Edition, which is not that new, but for them it's new. And for people who maybe are not familiar with the system, to sort of just see it. The more people that see it, I think the more people will really probably, have this sort of epiphany that my local group had. They were just like, there's all this stuff that we can do really fast. I think that it was like, we can do all these things. I can have all this stuff and all these things, and it can still happen within the course of this adventure or this session. And that was and it's a really good system, and it's a very, and it's always it's very player friendly. It's almost like to be honest, it's like the players truly do feel like, I mean, when they say wild cards, but yeah, you are the main character and you feel like it. And you're given a little bit more of the, the meta currency to make that happen. And it's awesome.
Very cool.
And I'm hoping that, people will enjoy, our live play. And I mean, I will play, I'll enjoy our podcast.
Well, hey, guys, go follow the link that's on the screen right now. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go, click the bell icon so that you can get notified when this goes live. And we will have you guys back on the show at least one or two more times because I'm very excited about this. This is the kind of like both genre and this is the reason why I get to do Savage Universe. I get to talk with cool people doing cool things with Savage Worlds. And in fact, next week I've got Travis is coming on because the Scarred Lands Player's Guide is just released for Savage Worlds, which I was a huge fan of back in the 3.0 era of everything that was being done at Necromancer Games with the White Wolf Necromancer Games for the Scarred Lands. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him next week. So, gentlemen, Malcolm, Nathan, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out on the show. This was awesome. It was great to just hang out and chat with you guys.
I really appreciate you guys giving us a platform. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, hey, this is the most fun that I have doing gaming related things because again, we were talking about this at the Pinnacle panel. I don't know of any other gaming company that puts sets aside money and time to provide a platform for their licensees.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I don't talk about official Pinnacle products very often, if at all, on Savage Universe. This is specifically focused at our licensees, and as actual play people, you were part of the media license, so it's great to have you on. All right, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. Go out and check out Infamous Heroes and the AARPGers, and we will see you all in a week for more Savage Universe. Go out there, play some Savage Worlds, and may all your dice ace. Have a good one, everybody.